In the 40 plus years I have been a ballroom dancer, I have seen a big change regarding where ballroom dancers live in the world. So back in the Stone Age, when I was competing, newcomer, amateur through pro championship levels, there were definitely, I'll call them dance centers in each country and even in the world where all of the top dancers were living and training. Okay. And so these cities would be like New York, London, Los Angeles. Okay. And so this is where, again, all the national world finalists were living, and those were and even the retired former kind of national and world champions, and everyone was getting their training there. So obviously for the amateurs coming up through the ranks, if you wanted to train with them, you had to live in those cities, okay? And it was so much so that there were couples, many couples, for example, representing Canada, who would actually move to England to get their training there and live there while competing for representing their quote unquote home country, okay? Now this day and age, there are elite dance sport professionals really spread out all over the country and even all over the world. And I do have a theory as to how this evolved, okay? There's been a proliferation of ballroom dance in popular media. Dancing with the Stars, Dancing Queens, So You Think You Can Dance. And these shows have cultivated an interest in the wider communities that competing is even an option. So even people in little tiny towns are seeing that as something they could do. As such, the accomplished professionals this day and age really have the freedom to pretty much move wherever they want, and they can cultivate a clientele substantial enough to substantially, to sustain them full time as a career. As a matter of fact, there was a point in time a few years ago, we were thinking of moving to another state. My husband is a financial advisor, so we're not going to do that. He, in terms of the way being a financial advisor works, he needs to stay in our area to retain his clientele. But I was like, hey, no problem. I can move anywhere. I can build a full clientele. This was not the case, friends. Like even 20 years ago. And honestly, I saw a lot of elite level accomplished pros have to quit and move to a totally different career because they could not financially stay afloat when living in their hometown or even the place that they just wanted to live, because not everyone really wants that high-paced New York lifestyle nor cost of living. And so in my opinion, this has been an amazing, fabulous, wonderful improvement to the world of dance sports. Not only as competitors in terms of financial and spatial accessibility, because guys, I lived on the completely opposite coast of where the top pros were. I had to fly to Manhattan and to London literally once a month for years to get coaching. And that was a massive financial burden, guys. So very few people would have had the financial resources to be able to get access to those top coaches and then to become a really high trained dancer. So I love how much more accessible the training resources are now, as well as a professional myself, my quality of life. I'm just not the type, I'm just not an LA Hollywood type person. I love living in my little tiny area of the world where I can drive. I could probably even walk to a farm right now. Like really, just the fluidity of movement is fabulous. Okay, so I hope that's been interesting, guys. And I look forward to seeing you first thing in the morning. And I'm always interested to hear your stories. In fact, how far are you having to travel now for your coaches? If you're taking from really elite people, this is another benefit of kind of popular media exposure is there's also social level pros, who have never really trained to that elite level, who can totally support themselves financially full time and have a fulfilling career. I love that. The more, the merrier. Okay, guys, thanks for joining me. If you're interested in all things ballroom dance, hit that subscribe button. I do share videos daily pretty much. So I hear there's some sort of notification prompt, like a picture of a bell or something below that you can press to get a heads up each day, like, okay, Sunny's topic today, how do I get to the championship level or something like this. So anyway, thanks for joining me. Happy dancing.